Hello.
Hello, fellow humans. Welcome to Therapy Unlocked. Thank you for joining us today. I am Emily. I'm Final Girl M. This is my incredibly qualified co-host, Katrina.
Yes, Katrina Mondragon, licensed professional counselor, licensed mental health counselor, licensed to practice in 2 states, but I'm a professional, not your professional. So what do I usually say? Nothing we're going to talk about should be taken as medical, legal, or otherwise advice. Don't listen to us.
Don't listen to her, listen to me. Listen to me. I can say that because I am deeply unqualified. Unqualified as all get out.
Education and amusement. That's what we're here for.
We are here for education and amusement and the pursuit of fame, fortune, and, fortuitous messes. I want to talk about the awesomeness that was an event of this week that is a rare thing to say in 2026. We had a video on the pod, a short that we had on the pod, go viral, and it's at like what, 55,000 views?
Oh, I'm so glad it's something that I knew you were going to talk about. I didn't know you were talking about it, but it's something that I know happened. Because when you said something exciting happened this week, I was like, I don't follow things, so I don't know what happened.
It's okay. I am qualified in the realm of being chronically online. That is absolutely true. Yeah.
That viral short, yes, that was amazing. The engagement that occurred.
Engagement, people jumping in, people responding, the message in and of itself just being to let go and let go of the possibility of being judged.
Right, the message. Can you clarify what the point of the short was? I think somebody did ask that.
Yes. So I did want to touch on that. So in general, the point was, it starts with the message, what if they will judge me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let them, because people will always talk. Okay, do what makes you happy because it is your life. So that's the message. The message is, do you have something that will make you happy? And are you being stopped from doing that thing by the fear of perception of someone judging you? What if you just allow that and go ahead and pursue the thing that makes you happy? And my favorite was some of the people who came in there with sort of silly examples, but not silly if it matters to them. Okay. But one commenter said, so I can just eat the salsa straight. Literally, yes.
Go right ahead. And water, yes, that's okay.
Please enjoy yourself. Please enjoy your life. That's the point. One comment that literally brought a tear to my eye was a woman speaking about how, she had received that message at the right time, given her life circumstances, and she was going to try to do just that and reclaim her self-confidence. And I think that it resonated with like 2,000 or so people.
There's an old Zen saying that says, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Have you ever heard that?
I have not. I like that. When the student is ready,
the teacher appears.
The teacher appears. All right. So so you said that was a Zen saying?
Yeah, I don't know the origin of it. Just I know Zen is where I've heard it.
Is Zen a literal source or a concept?
Concept. It's not a literal source. I don't know of a Gandhi named Zen. No.
No, me neither. I was just wondering if the concept is like that the thought itself is unanswerable, or just that it's like a determinant of fate, or how does they determine what something is that is Zen?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's kind of like stoicism. You know it when you see it?
Yeah, sure.
Like, you know it when you see it, as far as like if you see something that says, remember death could happen today and live like that. Or it was something like that from Marcus Aurelius.
Okay, so they get kind of like a fate predeterminant, but it is Zen. You can find peace in the statement.
Yes, I think the Zen is often finding peace or tranquility, or like an Om.
So I found peace and tranquility in the weirdest of sources with our little viral motivational statement. And I think you know what I'm going to say, but I'll tell the audience. There were a magical number of judgmental comments to immediately illustrate the point for anyone for whom it may have resonated with. I was called too old for my pink hair. I double checked the box. I checked nothing, no age limit whatsoever. what okay.
And
But
I think in that video you couldn't see my purple hair, but I
I don't
definitely
think
have.
so.
I definitely it's fading now, but I definitely did purple after she bleached it in that episode of The Power of Indifference.
Oh, I love that one. And that's doing quite well as
80
well.
views.
Yeah.
Last I saw was like almost 100 people have actually listened to that full 30-minute episode, and I was really impressed with that.
I love that. I don't care about that one. Uh, no, the comments were fantastically judgmental and some misunderstandings, which is so to be expected on the internet. It never bothers me. But I thought that illustrated really well to anyone who might be scrolling through that whatever it is that you are stopping yourself from pursuing. Okay, well, this kind of the worst of it here. I'm not, and I'm not hurt by
There's
it.
a lot of examples that came to my mind when I thought of like, what are people not pursuing? I thought jobs, social relationships, happiness of whatever sort.
Or just I think for me as somebody who's changed body shapes
Mhm.
so many times, I have stopped myself at larger sizes, and this is my arguably my smallest size as an adult. I've still stopped myself from wearing clothing that I would want to wear or doing my hair in ways that I would want
Where
to do
makes
my hair.
Wear what makes you comfortable. I say or I say function over fashion is how I view it.
Yeah.
So while I am fashionable, and with the assistance of the lovely Jamie, who's never on camera, she's picked out a lot of my clothes. But this I got from Massachusetts, and what was I going to say about it? I just thought about Jamie, and my mind went to my girlfriend, and that's where I am.
Sometimes I choose discomfort for fashion, and I think that's okay too.
Function over fashion. That's what it was.
Function over fashion is an excellent way to start. I think that's a great way to start, but I'm a dopamine dresser myself. And we've talked about this before on what's your style. I like to be happy when I look in the mirror. I am wearing broccoli socks on this day. I am.
Shoes. They're so cozy.
So cozy, so functional, so great, so fun, so entertaining, also comfy. But I, the point being, sometimes I will choose my discomfort for fashion. But that brings me to an interesting question for my qualified co-host. Little unrelated from the topic, but that's what we do. What is it sometimes about choosing that discomfort that is so satisfying?
I think it's the dopamine at the end that's more sustained, more fulfilling, more long lasting. For example, graduating from high school or graduating from college, that's going to be a piece of paper that goes with you the rest of your life. And even if you lose the paper, no one can ever take away that accomplishment. And so that sustained dopamine of delaying the gratification it feels better and lasts longer than the scrolling of the feel good 15 seconds. I don't know. That's just how I see it.
Right. That makes sense. That does. I think that a lot of people are just desperate to avoid discomfort, whether that discomfort be the perception of other people or their own discomfort. And the minor discomfort of a scenario will stop them from pursuing the thing that might give them the most dopamine.
Like what we talked about last time, where if somebody has a little bit of fear of therapy, that might prevent them from going. And I said, have the fear and go anyway, because it's worth it.
Yes. Yeah, I think so too. And weirdly, I do think this correlates, but you let me know if it doesn't. I was watching just a random show on TV, just on antenna TV the other night, and somebody said something about how it was impossible to do more than 100%. And I was like, haha, it is not pies, it is effort.
Mhm.
You can give 200% effort, 300% effort, 400% effort. I am not giving you an item. I am giving you my willpower, which is infinite, infinitesimal, right? So percentage wise, we quantify discomfort as just discomfort.
And you bring up a good point. Avoidance is problematic in a lot of areas.
Well, somebody with a bit of an avoidant
Give an
attachment
example.
style.
Have you ever heard of trigger warnings?
Yes.
I've heard they're unnecessary, and that may be an unpopular opinion. I don't know.
I think that we may have, and I will say we may have, with nah, because we just did diagnostic bullshit. We've gone too fucking far.
Like 180 degrees.
Yep.
And just
Yep. We started at a place of, oh, child, are you scrolling the internet for the first time? Welcome. Welcome to the internet. That guy just blew his head off.
Yes.
Okay. That needed a quite literal warning. Okay. You know what doesn't? A video of like a squirrel doing the polka. I mean, like anything these days has some kind of warning in it. Warning, you might have wanted a baby someday, and there's a baby in this video. What?
So
What?
the trigger warning studies that I've read about have actually shown it to increase anticipatory anxiety. Like oh my goodness, what is going to be heard next is going to get somebody more amped up and more upset, and that if they just heard it.
I think, I see, my immediate thought was the opposite. My thought was memantic warfare, to where we're being desensitized with trigger warnings. So many trigger warnings that were like, that didn't trigger anything. That didn't trigger anything. That doesn't trigger anything, to the point that we end up being overexposed or just in general desensitized.
Yeah, well, desensitization is a huge deal in our country, I think, just because the overexposure to the abundance of information that we have available to us online. What do you think?
We know too much. We know too much, guys.
And like Einstein said, the more I learn, the less I know.
Yes. The more I learn, the less I know. Lately, the more I learn, the farther back in my mind I reach to my faith and mysticism to try to explain things and conundrums.
You bring up a good point. Since the beginning of time, man has tried to explain those questions of why are we here? What do we do? What is our purpose, etc. And now, instead of a lot of people, instead of a lot of people having like these theories about deities and polytheism, we now have theories about aliens and unidentified flying objects, or UAPs as they're called now. I forget what that
I think it would be prideful and ignorant to assume we are alone in such a vast universe.
Egocentric, yes. It's like how they used to think that we were the center of the galaxy and the Earth was being revolved around by like the sun and the other planets.
Right.
And then we learned that the Earth actually revolves around the sun. And then that guy, I think, got like hanged and quartered or something. Whoever said that, I don't remember. But yeah, that definitely happened. Whoever said that was definitely.
Time in history, those that have spoke the truth have been punished for it.
Yes.
Oh, we desperately need to do an episode on Cassandra syndrome, because I want the therapist take on Cassandra syndrome. You know what? We'll just do it right now. I'll give you the quick and dirty of the Cassandra syndrome theory. There are people on this earth, be it that they are given powers or be it that they are exceptionally great at pattern recognition, that tend to see the future. They give that prediction to those around them. Usually it is an eldest daughter, much like Cassandra in the Greek mythology, but it doesn't have to be. Someone who gives that prediction, gives that prognosis of the future. It happens to come true. The recipient of the information does not like the event, does not like the news, or does not like the impression, and therefore
they blame
punishes Cassandra the witch, taketh her eyes, rue the day she ever spoke. She clearly caused this to happen. We don't talk about Bruno. It could easily be no. We don't talk about Bruno. So Bruno syndrome, Cassandra syndrome. As a therapist, what is your take on that? You know, just when you have you ever seen that play out in your office? Is that something that comes across your table?
To have someone who can predict things based on a pattern of recognition is not unheard of. That is a thing. And the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. So if you see a tree and you recognize that tree, whether you say something about it or not doesn't make an effect on how it actually happens. So it's like, well, Cassandra may have predicted the future. She doesn't have a crystal ball. And so just because what she said came to pass doesn't make it her fault.
Right. And generally, predictor in this scenario is seeking to warn. I mean, if they did not care, they would not seek to warn. You know, they would not seek to give like a warning out there. But it backfires, you know? So what advice would you give if you had someone coming through?
Hold back that unsolicited advice is my advice.
I love that.
Because if it's not being asked for, It might not be listened to, or it might fall on deaf ears.
What if you just know? I'm right. Maybe I could stop it.
Then
I know.
I would ask yourself if like you're shooting on them, like you should do XYZ because I know. And then that's kind of like problematic because we can't make other people behave any type of way.
Right. I love that. Sometimes the easiest answers are I think what people find in therapy. Because like I've watched many a video on the Cassandra syndrome, the complex, that eldest daughter kind of theory. And it always comes back to different ways of taking your power back or protecting your peace or handling the outcome of that scenario. Rarely, if ever, have I seen the answer be, why don't we shut up?
Oh, so that was a novel concept?
Yeah. Why don't we try not saying anything? Oh, that's cool, Bruno. I'm so glad you saw that hair would fall out. Does he need to know? Does he need to know?
I didn't see that movie. So I'm a little bit lost on that reference.
That might be. Should we do that as an entire episode? I think so. It'll be a long episode, but it'll be worth it. Therapist reacts to Encanto. Encanto is the most touching and influential movie I have seen since Inside Out. In fact, I think it is better than Inside Out.
Have you seen Soul? I really like that.
I have, and I love Soul.
Okay.
And I think Encanto is better.
Oh, interesting.
Encanto is generational healing in a musically multicolored, delightful package. It is one of the best films I think I've ever seen. I took so much from that movie, and I watched it with my children over and over again. And each time I watched it, I felt just a little more, I think, connected to the idea that healing one person really can't just be with one person. It needs to be
healing doesn't happen
generations.
Oh yeah. That falls along with what I believe, I guess, which is that healing doesn't happen in isolation.
Right. It does. And it encourages connection. It encourages things like Bruno with his Cassandra syndrome, with our Bruno syndrome, as I have renamed it, eventually is understood because a younger generation seeks to break the cycle and goes and seeks answers and resolve a conundrum about it. I don't want to give it away. And I'm sure anybody listening to this is like, you haven't seen Encanto, so you better watch it ASAP.
A lot of
ASAP.
I went to college and there was me under a rock with my books.
I kind of feel like, you know what? We could do it. We could just tell them what time they started it. They can watch it with us. We should probably watch Encanto at some point. Or at least you watch it and let's do one dissecting it, because I have many a thought on the different concepts in that film. But and it's got music by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Nice. The songs are really great. I can also sign the whole thing for you because we watched it a million times. Yes. But it's worth it. It's worth the watch. Anybody who hasn't seen it, or you're maybe looking for something different to watch with your kids, or to go back to something that you watched with your kids and watch by yourself.
Oh, there you go.
Give that a shot, I think, because when I did that, and I don't even remember the circumstances, might have been folding laundry and they went outside. I don't know. But I watched it by myself and it gave me kind of the peace for a moment to think about the adult perspective in the film, because it is filmed from the perspective of the star, who is a younger woman.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives you the story in multiple parts, but having the silence, kind of just without kids singing along and having fun because kids love the movie. It gave me a deeper understanding. So like, yeah, I would recommend that if you never have done it. But yeah, no, I don't think anybody ever told Bruno that he could shut up. I don't think we all have to use our gifts. And I don't just mean anything psychic.
But let's say somebody asked for it. Somebody says, I have this problem and I need help. And then you tell them the advice and then they still blame you because they didn't listen or whatever. Or they did listen and it didn't turn out well.
Yeah.
I would say that's okay too. Because if they did ask and you did advise and they still didn't do it, well, now it's really on them because they asked for help and ignored the help that was given.
Yeah. That's a really important distinction. That absolutely happens. A lot of the time people will seek, and that's not just somebody who might prophesy something. That's any advice, I think. A lot of the time people will seek advice they don't want.
Oh, advice. Speaking of advice, sometimes people will go to therapy expecting an advisor. That's not what therapy is. Therapists are like a guide, or like if you want to think of it like holding hands walking down a path, it's a little more like that than a like advisor telling you how to, like, it's not the three wise men.
I absolutely wanted a royal vizier in my therapy sessions and continued looking for them despite having switched on more than one occasion. I was like, come on now. For me, though, you'll surely break the code this one time. Just go ahead and tell me what to do. I would like to know what to do, please. I just drooled that because I have cataplexy. Yeah, facts. Oh, that was one of my favorite comments. I was real messed up and I was like, how did they know? Because I have narcolepsy. So for sure, it's in the medication. I mean, it's not the stuff they made in Breaking Bad, but it's pretty messed up that I can't stay awake without it. Anyway, that made me laugh. I fell asleep on it earlier, so it's not very good math.
And that's all the time we have today for Therapy Unlocked.
Thank you for joining us. Please remember that I'm unqualified and unprofessional.
How do I